this program is intended only for mature audiences. Alright, so let's do a little bit of an orchid update. I'm not sure if I mentioned that I brought the majority of my things inside because it's getting really, really chilly outside. So I have this nice shelf greenhouse from Joblot. It's only $20, really quick and easy to assemble. You can also disassemble it and do a whole crap load of awesome stuff to it to make it more suitable for your plants. These shelf things come off, so if you have something that's obnoxiously tall that you want on like a lower shelf, you can like opt out of putting this top shelf on so that the plant can grow up through it. And also there's a bunch of space here, so my tallest plants will go in here. I used to put my avocado tree in here, but it's too big now, so I have that somewhere else. You can see that I have my nepenthes right in there. You can see my Cattleya intergenerics that are still carrying their seed pods. Probably going to be harvesting those in a few more months. Are in there. My dendrobium nano chip is in there. I'm really hoping this guy flowers again. Some of my other Cattleya dudes are in there. Some of my Oncidium intergenerics are in here now. Let's see. I've got some other dendrobiums. One of my Oncidium hybrids are in there. That's a no ID Oncidium. Put my epidendrums in here. Put my Oncidium. I think it's like strawberry. Actually, I have the label right here. Twinkle Pink Profusion. Oh, I saw this guy in flower when I bought him at the Orchid Chronicles. Love that guy. Put my Maxillarias in there. Sansevieria and some of the other things. We have a couple other things in the house. I am trying to capture some flies to feed to some insect pets. My orchid tree is inside now. I bought this at an estate sale. It's a really, really nice lamp. And then I have my Joblot LED bulbs, which are extremely inexpensive and anywhere from 800 to 1100 foot candles. Woohoo! Foot candles! For giving maximum light to this tree. I also have a nice little stand and then a tray on the bottom of my beautiful orchid tree. I'm actually like admiring the natural growth patterns of some of these plants that are on here. You can see they're kind of like wrapping around the fake branches. Love the growth form of the Maxillaria. And I just take a spray bottle and I spritz down all of the sphagnum moss in the mornings. The Vanda is growing upside down, but it's looking really, really nice. I am excited for this thing. This is a Dendrobium mohallanum to bloom. I don't know if it will, but it has a keki forming right here. In a later video when I talk about asexually reproducing orchids, we will talk about kekis, and they're really, really freaking fun. But we'll hold off on that. I have some tillandsia. I don't know if I showed off the tillandsia when the orchid tree was outside. That little guy is still hanging on. I'm just going to leave him and see what happens. It's a Cattleya hybrid. This is an older Cattleya. I really like the way it's been growing. It has a new growth from the rhizome here, and then it's putting out new growth over here. I thought it was a bifoliate at first, but it's not. And then, oh, I just bumped into my lamp. That's okay. My vanilla has been growing along here. And then I have this no ID dendrobium. Look, look, my children. It's putting up what I'm pretty sure is going to be a flower spike. It's growing from the tip of the growth there. Maybe it'll be a keki, but usually you would expect kekis lower down the cane, not at the very tip. But it also depends on the dendrobium. I think this is a hard cane dendrobium, which means it's not deciduous. Did I get that wrong? In any case, it's one of the dendrobiums. Some of my oncidiums, I don't know why this guy is yellowing. Maybe that's just part of the natural growth of the plant. But this is really cool just again to see what happens with all these plants. So it's inside, it's near a sunny window, but it's also near the light. I've also been repotting some of my orchids. Actually, let me just... Okay, that still feels moist, that's good. I've pollinated some of the flowers on this Phalaenopsis that opened up in the past couple of days. I think I pollinated this flower. Pretty sure I pollinated this flower. Yeah, although it doesn't really look like the pollen's stuck. I took some pollen from the Shaw's orchids. Shaw's is a grocery store around here, and I took a a polonium off of one of the plants that they were selling there and brought it home and stuck it on here. I don't know if it's really against the law to steal the pollinia from an orchid in the floral shop. You're not stealing the entire plant or even an appreciable portion of the plant, just as genetic material. But yeah, if I get arrested for admitting on YouTube that I took the pollinia off of an orchid, I highly doubt that. But anyway, I repotted the Phaeus microburst because it was just outgrowing its pot. I mean, look at how massive this thing is. Like, the leaves are longer than my hand. I repotted this orchid and this orchid. No, sorry, I just repotted this orchid because it was really getting obnoxious in its pot that it was in. So I had repotted some things. I also repotted some of my non-orchid terrestrial plants. This guy seems to be recovering. The leaves are much firmer than a few weeks ago. I'm hoping it'll pull through. It looks like the roots are nice and healthy now. I don't know what I'm going to do with this in the future, but at least it's looking a lot better. Gotta clean a sink. These guys are doing well. It looks like this one is elongating again. I gotta do something about the scale insects. I swear, karma, I don't believe in it, but I get weird things when I steal cuttings from greenhouse plants. I guess that's what I deserve. The path seems to be doing okay here. Free donuts. Oh, I repotted some of my Oncidium intergenerics, including this guy, and the few that are up in the greenhouse thing upstairs. It looks a little bit better now that I've put it into some more space. I just need to make sure it stays properly watered. And then finally I have these orchids that are still outside. I had to fill some of these pots back up with soil because of the heavy rain eroding through them and really doing a number on the... Oh, actually, I need to bring the dead fowl inside. Dendrobium phalaenopsis doesn't really need a cool-off period. I'll find a place for that later. The Blatilla will go dormant. I repotted this Cymbidium because it was really overgrowing. These two Dendrobiums definitely need to be kept cold so that they'll bloom. This guy looks like it's starting to get some flower buds popping out. I mean, it'll be a while before we see much more, but I'm hoping it'll bloom for me. I'm really hoping the Dendrobium kingianum will bloom. Obviously this guy will go dormant and I'll put it in a sheltered spot. These are native orchids, so I might just leave them here or I might put them in a more sheltered location for the winter. And as far as tissue culture goes, hey, a moth. I can feed that to a mantis. Anyway, as far as my tissue culture stuff goes, the oldest Phalaenopsis protocorms are now kind of like a glistening green. You can kind of see the, if you kind of are at the right angle away from the flask or jar, if you will, you can see like a greenish hue to all of them. I've had no contaminations, and things seem to be just kind of going along like orchid seed germination should be. I'm obviously noticing things are growing at different rates. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's today's update on things. I hope you enjoy and see you guys very soon.